In this video, I'm going to go over how I prepare for events. We're going to be talking about specifically like star forcing events, cubing events, honor events, not necessarily like big events like Dreaming Lashland event. It's going to be the smaller stuff that's usually on Sundays or like miracle times. The first thing we're going to go over is going to be your best friend during any of these events is these calculators. So I'm not going to go over exactly how to use these. If you don't know, I have a video going over it, but these are going to be your best friends when it comes to any like star forcing thing, any cubing thing, any ability thing, even flaming. There's a flaming calculator as well. I'll put all these in the description if you don't have these already. I'd recommend bookmarking them. I have a little Maple tab where I bookmark everything that's useful. But we're going to be using this. I'm going to be doing mine live just to show you guys what I do. But the first thing I wanted to go over was one, these websites are super useful and they're going to be your best friends while you're doing this. Two, I like to keep my expectations very low when I'm doing any event because of the fact that one, if I get, let's say I'm to 5, 10, 15, I'm trying to get something 22 starred, right? It's completely out of my control. The only thing I could do is get enough mesos and hope. So if it's something that's not in my control, I don't really want to like expect a lot from it because I literally can't control what's going to happen, right? So I'd rather expect low and then usually be satisfied because I hit my low expectation. That's one thing to keep in mind. I always keep my expectations really low on events. It doesn't matter how many mesos I have. I could have 100 mil mesos, and my expectations are still going to be really low, or 100 bill. So those are the two things, these websites, and I would recommend just keeping your expectations pretty low during these events, and I'd rather hit something that's not super crazy and be satisfied versus expecting to hit something that's like hard to hit or like even medium level to hit and not hit it and then be sad the entire event or after the entire event because I didn't get what I wanted, right? But if you what you want isn't that hard to get, then you'll always be satisfied. So that's just what I do to keep my expectations low. I think it helps, and so far, I think on events I've made pretty good gains and pretty good progress. I've always been happy, and I've always overachieved what my expectations were. So the way this system has worked really well for me. The first thing that we're going to do is we want to figure out the main goal for the event. The event that I want to use as an example, it's August 7th. So the closest event coming up is the accessories event. So I want to figure out how much I need. I'm going to do this all like in this video just to show you how I do it. I'm going to figure out exactly what I need for this accessory event to see how much money I'm going to need, right? So I think you can actually access it here. Yeah, so it's accessories, emblems, hearts, and rings. The only things we're really going to focus on is accessories because my emblem's already legendary and I won't get a fairy heart yet, so I don't really care about doing the heart I have. The current heart I have is the Lydium heart, but we get a fairy heart soon. We won't get it in time for the event, but we'll get it soon, so I'm not going to worry about my heart because of this fairy heart. But what we need to figure out is what accessories do I need to work on? And I'll tell you what my main goal is. I always do this on a sticky note, which we'll make a new one. I have sticky notes for a lot of things. Like this is the one for my boss meals that I'm creating and leveling, which I'll make the boss meal video eventually. Okay, so this is going to be, I always put the date, 8, 9, 24, I believe is what we're in. I think it's the 9th day, but so 8, 9, 24, miracle time accessories. And then what I do is I have a main goal. So my main goal for this, so basically I want to get all of my meso drop gear stuff and all of my damage accessories to legendary, except for the superior ones. So the reason I'm not doing like superior Gollix ring or superior pendant is because they're not 21 yet. I'm going to use something else to get them to 21, so it'll reset the potential anyway, so there's no point in getting it to legendary. I'm not going to get any of the superior stuff except the earrings because they're already 21 star to legendary. But everything else I can get to legendary. We're going to figure out what we need. So I need something too that I like to do. It's really useful. If you go off full screen, you can still move around in Maplestory even if you're not tabbed in. So I'm tabbed into this and I can still move around. So I can hover over the items and write them down. So for example, the stuff in our damage, I'm also going to separate it. So I'm going to put damage gear, and I'm going to put what I need. The damage gear, I have the Guardian Angel ring, the Meister ring, the Twilight mark, Black Bean mark, Superior earrings. These are all the damage accessories I need to get to legendary. And then we're going to go to my Meso drop stuff. So it's the Sweetwater pendant, the Twilight mark, and then the Estella earrings, which means there's only 2 items. I don't have the Estella, so there's only 2 items I need to get legendary right now for my meso drop gear, and the rest I already have it, so I don't have to worry. What that means is we have a total of 7 items that we need to get, right? So now what we're gonna do, now that we have that, we're going to the calculator. We're gonna go to the cubing calculator, and then we're gonna keep this here, and we're gonna check the price for all of this stuff, right? So accessories, we're gonna see how many 160 things. I only have 2 160 things, so we're gonna do all the math at the bottom. So the accessories, we're gonna use bright cubes. I need to check what they are. So this is the Guardian Angel ring is, let's see, I think it's unique. So it's unique. We're gonna go unique to legendary for a 160 ring. I'm gonna just have this on the side and refer to it so I don't have to keep tabbing. But I'm just using this and using what I looked at from this sticky note. All right, so unique, double miracle time, legendary, or using bright cubes. So it's going to cost 157 mil median. So if we go to our calculator, the Sweetwater Pennant I believe is also at unique too. So I'm just going to, it's the same level and it's both at unique. So that means I'm just going to times that by 2, right? So if I go to the calculator here, we're going to do 157,584,000, 157 mil times 2. So 315 mil. So what we're going to do is 1x 160 accessory. We're going to do the price for what one 160 accessory costs unique. So this means it's starting at unique, right? So that means it's going to be 157,584,000. And then I'm going to keep in the 75% cost too. So 656,000. So I know how much a 160 level accessory that's at unique to legendary on a double miracle time. I just know how much it costs now. So it's 157 mil or 292 at a 75% chance if I get a little unlucky. So if I have 2, right, it's 315, 168,000. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just put the value here so I know. So this is going to be that much. This is going to be that much. Keep the level. So now I know each one of these is going to be that much. Eventually, I'm going to add it all in. So I'm going to keep these numbers too, just so I can know for future reference. I won't even need to do the calculations if I have something similar. I'll just be able to look at a 160 accessory that's unique and see how much it costs, and I won't even have to do the calculations. So now that's all of them. So what we're going to do is we're going to add it all up. Total for meso drop gear. And then we'll do total here. We'll do total. This will be the main total. This will be the meso drop gear total. This will be the damage gear total. So we'll do the meso drop first because it's easier. 157,584 plus 223,920,000. It's 381,504,000. And then we're going to do the 75% cost as well. I always like to include the 75% just because I expect to not hit the median ever. I expect if I hit the median, I got lucky. So I always do the 75% because I just expect a 75% cost. 292,656,000. Well, some of these I might mess up too. It's not really that big of a deal. It's just to get a good idea. 92,656,000 plus 425,448,000. Okay, so that is 718,104. That's why you do 75%. Like if I didn't and I just did the median, I would think I need around 400 mil. But if it's 75%, which is more likely that it will be like harder to get than easier, it's 700. So I need an extra 300 mil just for that, right? So let's see. So that's the total for the meso drop. So now that we have both of those done, we're going to do the totals. Okay. And that's why I like to have the difference because the median is 1.3 bill, 75% chance you have 2.4 bill. And this is the first thing that I do. So first you get your goal, right? So our goal was getting my meso drop and damage accessories minus the superior stuff. The only thing I'm doing is superior earrings to legendary. So getting them all to legendary. That's the goal. Then I went in and I figured out what I needed to get legendary out of all of them between the damage and the drop gear. And then I calculated everything, right? So that was step 2 is calculate the cost for everything. Then what I do, I know that I need now probably around 2.5 bill to get all this stuff done, right? Luckily for me, I have a lot of stuff that's not like rare. A lot of it's like epic and unique. It's going to cost me a lot less. Now, the goal for me is to get way more mesos than I need, right? And keep my expectations low. So I'm going to show, the event is, I think, tomorrow. or the events in 2 days. I'll tell you how many. This is how many mesos I have for it saved up. I have 32 billion, and it costs 2.4 billion. So I have 32 billion that I've saved up to blow on this event. Now my expectations were so low that if it took me 32 billion, I would not be unhappy because my only goal during this event is to do this. I don't care how much it costs. I'm going to get this done and I'm going to be happy that this is done. It's not even to get good lines on the potentials or anything. It's just to get them to legendary. That is my goal. No matter what happens, it could cost me 32 bill. I don't care. I'm happy if I get that done. So this is what I mean by get way more mesos than you need. That's step 3. Get way more mesos than you need and don't increase your expectations. Keep them at the same spot. Even like I have, like if we do, let's just do the calculation real quick for, let's just do this item, right? We'll do this item epic to legendary. Actually, we'll do, how many items is this? There's 7 items total. We're going to do them all at 160. We're going to do them all at rare. So this is, I don't have to do any one at rare, but it's 1 mil or 1 bill with a 95% chance, right? So if I do 7 times 105806400, that's a 95% chance. It would cost me 7.4 billion at a 95% chance, right? And I have saved up 32 billion. So I have way more than the 95% chance. Like I have almost 5 times the amount I need. Means more than likely I'm going to have extra mesos by the end of this event. And that's what leads me into the 4th step. So because of the way I do it, where I usually get more than the 95% amount for whatever I need, which means I'm probably guaranteed to hit it. 2, I'm going to have extra mesos by the end of it, right? Which has happened every time. So every time I've had extra mesos. So what I like to do is figure out a secondary goal. So this is only if I hit everything and I have extra money, right? So that's what the secondary goal is for. And usually I always end up hitting everything and have extra money because I keep my goals so low. So that doesn't always mean you're going to hit the secondary goal, but the way I have it set up, I will always hit my primary goal, no matter what. If I hit my secondary goal, then I'm just like, that's just extra icing on the cake, but I'm happy if I hit my primary goal. So the secondary goal for me, so what I want to do is I want to go from 80% to 200. Now, I don't expect to get all this in one event, right? The event that we're having doesn't even help with that, but I'm just going to do it on this event because I'm getting these accessories to legendary. We're going to be working on getting our drop rate higher on this event as the secondary goal, because if I do these 7 things, there's no more accessories than I want to Star Force right now. So with that in mind, the event for me is already complete. But I save all this money for an event, I blow it all on the event, I save again. That's how I do it. If you want, you could not use all your money. Like I could just use do those 7 accessories to legendary and then keep the rest. But I'm trying to get higher drop gear. That's my next main money focus. So I'm going to use the rest of this money to try to get as many double lands as possible. So if I wanted to do that, now we're going to say everything's at legendary already because I already did that. So now we're going to be working towards my second goal. All my accessories are now legendary because I just did it on the event. Now we're going to be working towards the drop gear. So everything's at legendary. I'm just going to use 140 because I think on average my stuff's probably 140 because it doesn't matter that much. We're going to use bright cubes and we're going to go for hybrid lines. So 2 lines involving item drop or meso obtained. So that's going to cost, on average, this doesn't even matter anymore, but it doesn't change anything. So now we're going to talk about secondary goal, and we're going to have how much one hybrid line costs. Now I'm going to have one hybrid line equals 2552,688,000. And then we're going to do the 75% as well. 5082,984,000. So it costs between 2.5 to 5 bill or more, depending on if I get the 85 or the 95% chance. If I was doing the 95, it would be 11 bill per item, right? Which would mean I would need a lot of money. But we're just going to use the 75% like we've been doing. So one hybrid line is that much. So if we need 5 hybrid lines, right? So I'm going to get a hybrid line on all of my rings plus my earrings. We're going to need to do this times 3 or times 5. So 2552. Oh, I can actually just paste it now. This is actually such a useful thing. I didn't know I could do this. Times 5. So 5 hybrid lines at the median cost, which again I don't expect to get, but I'm just putting down how much the median is 12 bill. Right? And then we're gonna do it at the 75% cost, which is a lot more likely. This is going to be Around 25 bill, right? Yep. So 25, 414 920 000. So already you can tell I'm not gonna have enough for all this, right? So let's say, for example, right now I have 32. I'll probably have a little more by the time this. I have almost 33. We'll say I have 33. So if I have 33, it's gonna cost me 2.4-ish bill to get all the accessories to legendary. Then 25-ish. So this is like it adds up to 28, right? So this is 28 bill just for this, for the 5 hybrids. I'm also not expecting to get this at all. I'm not expecting to do 5 hybrids at once with my amount of money. We're gonna need the 5 hybrids, right? So that will be all the meso done, 5 drops done, and I need 5 more drops. So I need one double drop on one item, and then the rest just have 1 drop. We're gonna look for now 1 line of item drop and 1 line of stat, because I need 3 items with this. And we're gonna see how much this costs. So this is 425 mil. So we're gonna put that in as well into our calculator. That's how much it costs for that. So I need 5 hybrid lines and I need 2 items with 1 line drop, 1 line of stat, but I'm just gonna focus on those for now. So that means I would have done all of these rings, the earrings, and then the item drop and the 1 line of stats are for both of these. These would be done. The greed pendant will leave at item drop 20% for now. And then the Sweetwater is what I'm going to try to get double drop on. So to get double drop, we're going to do this last too. I'm not going to get this done on this event. I know that for a fact because this is expensive. It's going to be expensive, right? So the median's 10 bill. The 75% chance is 20 bill. So it's not a cheap thing whatsoever. We know how much it costs now. So now we have these forever. We have how much the cost of these are and all this stuff. So we don't have to do it again. We could just use these and multiply whatever we needed. The total, we now know how much this costs. And this is my secondary goal. And this is something I don't expect to finish. This is just what I'm going to use the rest of my mesos on. That's step 4 is figuring out your secondary goal. That's basically about it. All you got to do, know how to use these websites. I would recommend keeping your expectations pretty low. Figure out your main goal, which again, mine was getting my stuff to legendary, right? Getting all my meso and drop stuff that I'm going to use and my damage stuff to legendary, minus superiors. Calculate the cost. We just did that, right? Calculated the cost for everything, put it down. We also kept track of it for the future, so we don't have to calculate this cost again. And then get way more mesos than I need. So I have way more mesos than I need for the primary goal, not the secondary goal, which I knew I wouldn't have it. But for the primary goal, I need around 2.5 bill. I have 32 bill, so I have way more than I need. Then you figure out your secondary goal, which is going from 80% to 200% drop. Let's put drop rate. And then we did the math for that as well on what I would need, right? So I need 5 hybrid lines, 2 lines of one line drop, 1 line stat, and then 2 lines of drop. That costs 47 bill, anywhere from 23 to 47 or anywhere higher, right? And then now we know, basically, if I get my stuff finished, my primary goal, which I will with the amount of money and I'll have extra, then I can work on the secondary. And that's basically what I do for every event. So cubing events, flaming events, or basically cubing and star forcing. I haven't been around for a flaming event. I don't even know if they exist. But inner ability ones too for the 50% inner abilities. You can do that as well with your inner ability. You could just calculate it all here and then figure out how much honor you have and see what you can do. But yeah, that's about it. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment.